Hey, this is 5.6 Law of Cosines, and we've got some formulas right here. And here's our
I'll be back
standard.
in just a sec.
Yeah, he's bailing on us for a little bit. That's okay. We've got a little, but Jack wants to. You want to come in and guest star in our video? Here comes Jack. He's going to guest star. We're going to talk about law of cosines. Come on, Rachel, you can be in it too. All right, so these are our formulas that these work out, and remember that we can use this for side, or side, angle, side. Either of those situations. So here's how this works. Example 1, solve triangle ABC, given that A equals 11, B equals 5, and C equals 20. Well, if we look at like this triangle, that means this side's 11, this one over here is 5, and then C is 20 degrees right here. And so that's a side angle side situation. We can totally solve this with law of cosines. So we might ask ourselves, how do we choose which of the three formulas to pick? And so we pick the one that we know the angle for. Okay, we know angle C, so we're going to pick this one right here to use. Okay, got it? Everybody got it? Okay, and don't worry, I made sure my calculator was in the right mode this time, so let's fill this in. We don't know what C is, but we know that A is 11. We know that B is 5. Okay, and we just fill in this whole shebang. Well, everything on this side is filled in, so we just type that into a calculator. You got to be kind of careful. I mean, your calculator needs to be told to do the right thing. 11 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 11 times 5 cosine 20 degrees. Again, it is in degree mode. You have to go to mode and check. And what we get then, because I didn't square root it yet, we get that C squared is 42.634. And then there's a lot more decimals, so second square root second answer gives us
6.529457.
Can you really see that over my shoulder?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive eyesight.
I'm eating carrots, so.
That's totally related. C equals 6.529. Now, once we know that, we can do one of two things. We can keep using the law of cosines, or we can actually go back to using the law of sines. And so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we know the biggest angle actually first before we switch to law of sines. So we need to know what angle A is here, so let's do that. So that's this first one. Okay, so always make sure when you're using the law of cosines that you know the biggest angle. So we're going to have A squared, so that's 11 squared equals B squared, so that's 5 squared, plus we just found C. We are going to end up having to use information that we found ourselves, so that's kind of unfortunate, but you know, that's how we roll sometimes. Cosine of A. So what we have to do to solve this is we have to subtract the 5 squared and the 6.529 squared over. Okay, that's going to be our first step. We're trying to get A by itself over here. So we've got to get these over to the other side. So on your calculator, you can do 11 squared minus 5 squared minus, and if you still have that in your calculator, you can actually do answer squared, which I do. Okay, and so that gives me 53.366 equals negative 2 times 5 times 6.52259 cosine A. Well, all of this in front of here is multiplied by cosine A, so what we want to do is we want to divide by all of this on both sides. Right? So I'm going to divide this side by what I have over here. So I'm going to divide, put it in parentheses, negative 2 times 5 times 6.5294573. And that gives us that cosine A is negative 0.817, and that decimal keeps going. And so if we want A, watch the little OSU there. Oh, that's exciting. So we do inverse cosine of what our answer is, that decimal there, and we get that A is 140. Oh, oops! That was almost bad. A equals, I pressed the button. 144.817. Okay, degrees. Now, once we know aside an angle, we know this other angle, we can just do 180 minus 20 degrees minus what we just found for A. And that will give us what angle B is. So, hey, what's up? Just making a video. You know, probably. He's probably coming back. He said he would.
Alright.
Anytime now.
Okay.
All right, so that's all three parts. So, and that's the law of cosine.